Good morning. I'm not sure if you can hear the fire. It's 5 o'clock, and I can't sleep again. So good morning to you all. Good afternoon, good evening to anyone that's been up for a while. And welcome to the couture thinking little spot of the world. I've been thinking, shock and all, everybody should be scared. Thinking is not very popular these days. So when one is thinking, I think people should take notice or run, one or the other. I've made myself a coffee. My husband's filled the fire. My dog is sleeping on the couch, which is not allowed, but he does it anyway. And I let him. And as this thought takes a hold of me, that I let my dog sleep on the couch, I'm made very aware that we too are allowed to sleep on the couch, even though we're not allowed to. And I don't mean that I'm talking about a couch, but we're allowed to shop because they let us. Soon that's ending, I think. We're allowed to smoke because they let us still. I think you can see that drawing to a close pretty clearly. They let us drink coffee still, thank goodness. I've got my cup nice and hot. So I guess I'm much like the dog, still sleeping on the couch without, any real consequence. There are some people that aren't allowed to sleep on the couch, like people in Palestine. They know they're not allowed. They know they're not allowed, and they're not allowed. Not like us here in the West still. We know we're not allowed to do a lot of things, but we do. I haven't really been inspired to videotape myself. I feel the chaos and the noise in the world are overwhelming. What's another face on the screen yammering on? Isn't it much nicer if you can listen to a voice and nod along and fry your bacon for breakfast? Or have your coffee while you're looking at the sunshine rise or set, whichever you prefer. You see, I have a problem. I see the world, and it doesn't seem to me the same description that everybody seems to be saying. Here goes. My thinking of where we are on the map of holy shit. Where am I? My idea is that we are nothing but animals, much like a herd. We're called sheeple. Which isn't funny when you actually realize we are sheeple. The joke, or as the Amish would say, the joke would be not funny when you realize that you are a slave. You are not free. You do not think on your own. And when you sneak, and sleep on the couch, just like I know my dog is sleeping on the couch right now, they know we're doing what we're doing. Because we're all doing what we're all supposed to be doing, even though we all think we're free. That's the rub. You see, if you knew you weren't free, and just think about this, and tell me if it's not true. If we all woke up tomorrow, or today, let's say like me, 5 o'clock, and we all got the memo all at the same time. Like maybe in an emergency, you know, those emergency alerts. Just so you are aware, this is official, unclassified news. You are all slaves. You will all do what we say you will, or you will all pay. You don't believe me? If you don't believe me, you can do your own experiment. Sorry, I'm sitting on an old wine barrel, new kind, not the one that's like the old kind. It's fine. And when I get up and move around, I make noise. So I apologize for the background noise. Squirrels always are around. See, that was a squirrel. But back to our freedom. Try to see if you're free. I dare you. These experiments are free. They are stressful. But they do the job of showing you how much of a slave you are. You're much like a dog, you're owned. And when you piss off your owners, you end up on the streets. And even though you're in the system, technically, because you're here living with us, you're kind of like the Amish without a community. You're in a system, but you're not participating in the system, which is crazy because if you think about it, people that are homeless are not participating in the system, and yet they are. So that goes to show you that you can't actually be out of the system, which is kind of scary when someone finally realizes that. And then, you know, that hard thought you have to actually digest, and you actually have to go, okay, what am I going to do with this information? The fact that I'm actually, okay, let's just say I believe that I'm a slave, that I don't really have rights. If they give me options that look like rights, they allow me to shop. They allow me to pay my bills. They give me the right to work for them for the first 4 hours of my day. Should I choose to be in the jobs market, I might choose to be a business owner, in which case I'm working sometimes 17 to 20 hours a day. I still have to pay taxes. I just pay them directly to the owner. I don't pay it to like the guy that collects the money for the owner and then gives it to the owner, and then the owner gives it to the government, and the government ultimately goes to the people that own us. And by the way, the people that own us own all the areas that you can find these people, so you can't find them because owners are always invisible. So I'm just thinking, a thought that is, it's one of those thoughts that has bounced around in my head for years now. And the thing with that kind of thought is that it's more of a ball than a thread. A thread thought is a thought that I feel that I can tuck away and file away, like close the file. I can close the file because I can make a file in my head. Our brains work like that. Our brains like to file things. So you feel satisfied when you file things. And then when you file things, you actually think you know them because you think they're facts. And yes, there are certain facts that we know. If you don't breathe, for example, you will probably not live more than a few minutes. If you don't eat, you probably won't live more than a few months. You know, if you don't emit all of your elimination needs, you will explode and implode. So there are certain things that we do know, that we do feel are concrete facts, and that they are solid. They can't be moved. We are at a time, I think, ironically, where facts don't matter, but certain groups matter. So facts no longer matter, but certain groups with certain identities or certain wants or needs matter. But I mean, I'm not sure if logic also doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to the people that are living in unreality, which is 90% minimum of people, I would say. And when I say they don't live in reality, what I mean is that they go to the grocery stores and they think that's where food is made, because they don't think about the processes of everything. And when you don't think about the processes of things, you accept them as they are. And unfortunately, food is not made in the grocery store. It's brought there. Yes, that's the end. That's the logical end of the cycle of the process and the system of food that we have been put into. Because we're no longer in a food... we're not in a relationship with food. We're in a system of food. Yeah, we're not in a relationship. We don't have a relationship with food. That's why most of us are. Well, let's just say unhealthy. You know, a side note, moving to another location because sitting in front of that fire was becoming uncomfortable. And although it was warm, there are benefits, yes. The side effect is that it was uncomfortable for my bum. Because if you can imagine those buckets, they are not very wide. And speaking of unhealthy, this is the beauty of reflection. Oh my goodness, I've been the most unhealthy version of myself lately, as of late. I have neglected my diet. I have neglected my exercise. I have neglected my mind. I have neglected. If I had to think of one word, oftentimes I think of what one word can describe this video, this talk, this conversation. And I would say in this one moment of conversation, at the very least, I would call this neglect, because I am recognizing, looking back and reflecting at my life, that I am very neglectful of myself right now, because we are actually in the throes of something that is, well, very involved. And so I'm throwing all my energy in that direction right now, and it's only a limited time project. So I know that there's an end, and I can see the end, and unfortunately this end is not here just yet, but it's almost here. The other thing that it's a very crowded morning for thinking. And like thorns, when you think in all one way, when you think in all different ways instead of one way, oh my goodness, I swallowed half a sentence. I don't know if you guys ever do that. I swallow sentences all the time, but it's usually when I write. So that's why I'm trying to practice writing, because writing, my hand is just whoa snail, and my brain is meep, you know that Roadrunner? Yeah, that's my brain. So I have to slow down my brain and quicken my hand. Again, see? Roadrunner. I got sideswiped. So I've been very neglectful, and sitting on that stupid bucket is very uncomfortable for long-term sitting. But I wanted to sit in front of that fire. I've been missing fire because we haven't been able to have a fire, because we've had to make sure things were all secure. We wanted to just get everything new. So because this house is old, and certain infrastructure is very important, and fire is no joke under any circumstance. So we wanted to make sure that we took everything and did everything from scratch, and made sure that everything was brand new, sealed tight, shining, and put in there so that it is absolutely the healthiest fires that we can have, the most safe and enclosed. And my goodness, what a difference. I am so glad that we did it. So I'm just enjoying the act of sitting in front of a fire in my robe with a coffee. And for me, that is a luxury that's better than chocolate or cashmere or yachts. Because when I look around at this chaos around me, I find heaven and peace in front of a fire at 5 a.m, in the middle of the night, it seems, when I can't sleep. Being able to still afford coffee is something to be grateful for. I am so hopeful that I am going to be able to afford coffee moving into the next phase of the New World Order. The new again. Yeah, as the what would it be called? You know, when the fire makes it's like the light version of waves or something like that. Like, you know, when you're like in waves and it's not like really hard waves, it's just like waves where it's just waving. It's not like super high waves. They're not even like capping. I think it's called capping. When that light, whatever it's called, the glimmer of, I've got to come up with, there must be a name, the glimmer, the reflection, the light. It's to the nervous system, fire, anything natural I find to the nervous system has a calming effect. I don't know, would you agree? And like when I go in the water, I love water. I think that most people that haven't had a very bad experience with water probably naturally like water. That would be my guess. Now what do I know? I'm wearing a white house coat, but it's not like the laboratory variety. Plus, they got PTSD to masks now. So when I see those, like, they've made masks to me repulsive. So when I see, you know, even a surgeon now, it's like, oh God, you are naturally repulsive to me because the system has traumatized me. I don't know if anyone else has that same visceral reaction as I do. And it's not like I sit there and have like a panic attack. It's not like that. It's just inside. I'm just like, whoa, that mask actually like makes me take a pause and look at it and wonder why I'm looking at it. That's another thing about thinking. When you start thinking, like it kind of falls out and in not a neat fashion. It kind of stumbles and falls, and sometimes there's like 3 or 4 thoughts at the same time, or I'll be thinking in 2 or 3 different directions, and I don't know how I'm doing it, but I'm doing it. And then I guess I think I end up on one thought, because, you know, I end up saying one thought. Because there's no way of saying 2 or 3 thoughts at the same time, because you can only talk in one stream. And that's the thing about talking. And brings me back to why I'm here in this boutique, sitting here having a coffee with you. This very quaint cafe of thinking is, for me, practice. Because I write, and because I'm not very good at systems, I need another layer or a couple of layers, because I still have my husband and my family and sometimes my friends. But I would say that practicing thinking, especially in the dark for me, I'm starting to find that I think not maybe my thorniest, because sometimes my thorniest thoughts are mostly when I find my thorniest thoughts are when I'm emotional, and that's when I know that that's not where thinking really happens. That's when the thorns grow. Actually, I find that that's when the thorns grow, when I'm emotional. That's when the thorns grow. The thorns grow when I'm not logical. Right? So think about that. When you're logical and you're just looking at a thought, and a thought that you don't feel emotionally attached to, because that's what emotion is. Something slighted you, something that affected you affected you directly, and now you're like, excuse me. And that's where emotion is like, hi, I've entered, and I'm taking over the conversation. Because emotion is like a big, loud woman in the room that has like very loud gestures, loud voice, big eyes. You'd imagine this person. They might be belligerent. They may not speak with poise. They may not use language that is grounding and well thought out. I'm starting to find that when you think about the word that you want to use, because the thing is that sometimes things spill out of me and I just use any word. And when you use any word, I find, this is just me, you're not accurate in what you wanted to say necessarily. Like, whoa, that stupid word, like. And then I use two words that I shouldn't use, like and stupid, and then I use them twice, just to showcase. So don't be like me. But back on track to what I was saying. Thoughts are kind of like weeds. They grow everywhere. They shouldn't be straight and linear. And when you go to school, that's why the hat is straight and linear, because they teach you how to think on a straight and linear path, like a train or a road, where there is a predictable destination. And when there's a predictable destination, they can meet you there before you arrive. Like, are you following this sort of analogy that I'm thinking? When you are trained, which most people are now, because now they've made university prestigious, they've made colleges prestigious, and more so, it's not just about prestige anymore. You need the receipt, as I tell my children, in order to participate in the game. In order for you to participate in the game of having a job, you can't just show up and do the best job. You have to have a document that you got from a linear fashion kind of industry, where they know that you are trained. You went to puppy school and you know how to take orders. So you know how certain orders make you do certain things. Sit makes you go on your bum. Stay makes you stay. But see, as humans, we don't think that we are trained. Like, a dog doesn't think he's trained. He thinks he's mostly doing things by himself, except when, you ask him to sit down. Or in my case, my dog is rewilding. He was so impressive to people when I was able to bark out, orders, and he would just instantaneously do them. Now I'm lucky if he does 3 out of all the others that he used to do. And the thing is you might say, oh, that's not good. You should be retraining him. Okay, and I agree to some degree. Okay, I can go there. I can go there. But then there's this little part of me where my mom sits. She's always on the other side of the argument. Like, the one thing I can count on that, God, I hope that it's a long time before she goes. But the one thing that she does is, me and her, we infuriate the crap out of each other. I think our love language is infuriation. And I mean this in the kindest way. We don't get mad at each other, but I think we do everything in our power to be on the opposite side of the argument. I think that that's our training. I think the two of us know that we don't have much training anywhere else, so we train we're always opposites arguing. So, and not arguing yelling. We generally don't yell at each other. And I'm in brackets anymore. Because when I was younger, back to see how this nicely ties into emotion. My emotion literally took over the classroom. Like, there was no logic in there, whatsoever. It was like pure emotion, and it was one big red splashy color. So I would lose it. Me and my mom would argue, and that was for a little while until I matured. And I think she also matured. I think we're always maturing, or not. That is also optional. There's this really cool coaster I probably have, because I rarely throw things away. I remember it said on the coaster something along the lines of growing old is mandatory. Maturing is optional. And that is, I quote, 100%. And I would say 90% of the world's population that is in the Western world, not in the impoverished worlds where they actually know what real life is. That's the spot where most people are. Like, first of all, everybody's in hyper emotional state. I don't know if everybody is agreeing or can agree with this statement, but most people get offended if you look at them the wrong way and you don't explain what you're looking at, because you might be offending them, because you might be judging them. They don't realize that they are judging themselves by accusing you of judging them if you're just looking at them. But again, logic and reason are so, like, 1950s. It's not even funny. And the thing is I'm starting to wonder if we're able to even not think linearly. Like, are we able to think in a fashion where you're able to take your thoughts here and there and everywhere, and not be afraid to think this way or that way, and go, oh, well, that's not a good option, that thought. I don't think humanity would want that. Maybe this would be a better option. We don't think. We just blindly accept what we're fed. And this is a very problematic point. When you become lazy in hunting your own food, you become dependent. Wouldn't you agree? Like, would you agree that when you start going to the grocery store exclusively, and you never grow a vegetable, you never cook a morsel of a noodle, you don't even stir your own juices, you become completely and utterly complacent in your survival. You become completely dependent on a system which its survival depends on your needing it. It's a convoluted thought, I know, but if you go along with me for that roller coaster ride, you'll realize that we're at a point where we're not just you have to be accountable for your actions. Our actions are such that we are not wanting to get up off the couch, off of watching YouTube or listening to YouTube or whatever. And we are not accountable for growing our own food. I grew my own potatoes, and it didn't really take any effort, except it did, because I had to plant them. I had to water them. I had to de-weed them, which I only did twice. And then I lost my potatoes because I didn't know where the heck the rows were. hello, yo, that's like a real problem because I am not participating in my survival. I'm just expecting that it's going to come out after. But alas, it wasn't like a total loss because potatoes are easy. So I went for potatoes, so then it would, low-hanging fruit. Those are the ones you plant first when you're just a starter. When you're a citiate, you start small. Or at least, you try. I don't. I try big, then I fail, and then I go back to doing small. So I have to scrape my knees generally. But my neighbor gave me very good advice. That's another thing, community. I'm learning community. Because we are giving up community because we are going more and more in the way of electronic community. Again, I'm going to go sideways with my thinking, and I can tell you that sitting here in the dark, yes, it's still dark, my thinking is more precise because I'm not looking around. I can't see the trees. I'm not distracted by the beauty. I'm not thinking about whether my hair is sitting funny because it's going to bother me in editing. It's so ego. It's ego. And also, you're fascinated. So your brain, my brain at least, goes in 14 different directions. I'm more focused when I can't see anything except the glow of the fire. Oh, look, I think that's a good reflection of that. The glow of the fire. I think that's what people refer to it too. And see, that's not my thought. See? Here we go on another wave. Look that's not my thought. The glow of the fire. Haven't you heard that before? I have. I remember now. That's not my thought. That's not my original thought. I wasn't thinking, sitting by the fire one day and I said to someone, and I'd never heard it before and it never existed, look at the glow of the fire. And then it was repeated and repeated and repeated. And that's how it started, right? That's how we think it started. That's how we want it to be. But is it like that? Or is it more like we're in the Matrix? We're like Neo and we think we're free. But that's because we can't see and feel. The back of our neck is connected to a wire. Because while you're connected to the wire, you're asleep, you see. So while you accept that we are in a system of progress, a system of, organized obedience, because that's what it is, compliance, we agree that we are going to stop at a stop sign. And we agree by that, through that, sorry, not by that and not through that. No. Those are not the correct words. We all agree to do that for whatever reason. I don't know what reason they give us. So a stop sign is safety. And I would say, looking around right now in 2025, everything is safety. I mean, my goodness, everything is safety. You cannot fart without a safety hazard labeled precaution. And to be honest, life is not safe. Okay? It's not safe. Ask a squirrel that's sleeping on the road. That's what I used to tell my children. I used to tell my children when they used to say, Mom, there's a squirrel on the road. I'd say, oh no, that one, she's just taking a nap. Because, obviously she wouldn't be moving. So my children would notice she wasn't moving. I didn't want to be morbid. And at that time, I still was at the beginning of my looking around, let's just say, of where we live. Because I still believed we should tell our children that, Santa Claus exists. But see, what we do to our children and our pets, they do to us, which is just oh, I'm grabbing my face and just squeezing my face, going, where are we in this freaking world? It's amazing when you look around. Like, when you look around, you're like, what? Like, this is a shit show on wheels. Like, it really is. And it's really a combination of almost every dystopian movie that you've ever watched. Okay, so imagine when you're looking at a human being, you're looking at a person that's, say, 5 years old. And that person is sitting in the middle, and on either side is their mom and their dad. And I hope this doesn't trigger anyone, but logic and fact indicate that there is just two genders. So, trigger alert, I'm sorry, and I'm not trying to offend anyone, and anyone can transition through those things as they want, but there really is just two that you go in to operate and get. Those are the only two options. And if I'm wrong, then you'll have to sue the doctors, because, like, I'm pretty sure that's still, those are the options on the board. Official, you know? But back to the three people sitting on the couch. When you look at them, you can see that the child has both parents simultaneously, and yet they look like themselves. So this human is one person, but within this one person, there's two more people. So altogether, visibly, there's at least three people. But then you also know that behind that little human is a treasure trove of humans that he's pulling genetics from and that he looks like. But he doesn't look like any one of those humans, but he looks like a little of all of those humans. Kind of like that. That's kind of where we're at. Where all of the dystopian movies are somehow weaved into our life. Like, for example, what do I mean? Right now, they are talking about digital ID. And there have been plenty of movies where digital ID is required. Like Minority Report, and all of these movies have different versions of these IDs. It could be the version of being on the wrist or in the eye or voice or under the skin. It doesn't matter. The story doesn't matter. It's the actual plot of the story. So you need an ID to do ABC, XYZ, anything, if you want to participate in society. Otherwise, you're an outcast. You are outside of the society, inside the society, because you could just never leave. You live on this planet. You understand, right? It's convoluted, all right. It's convoluted. That should be the name of this video. It's convoluted. That's 2 words, though, see? Maybe convoluted. Oh, the beauty of life is that we'll see. We will see. I don't know. That's where I was today, this morning. I was having these existential and simultaneously completely useless thoughts that are going to get me nowhere in life. I'm still going to wait until daylight, and I'm going to get up and put my underpants on and my other underclothes and get my ass hauling. Today I have the job of taking the straw, bale, and putting it into my chicken coops because the winter is coming and it's a hard job, and I'm a small human being, and it's a huge, massive bale. I mean, I should probably take a picture or a video or something in front of it, Yeah, that's what I should do. So you can see how big it is, and like a quarter of it. I think it's like a quarter of it is gone. Like literally, it doesn't look like a quarter, but we've already filled both the coop twice, and and the run. Excuse me. I wonder if you can see that my voice is already different from the morning. Isn't that funny? When you first wake up, everything is just so raw and doesn't want to move. And that's what I've realized as I've slowed down and I started listening to me, not just what I say, because saying equals thinking and processing, and then it comes out, and it's like you put it on the board when you talk. I put it on the board and I go, I look at it. It's kind of like, for me, speaking and talking to people or to you. When I say to you, I mean speaking to myself, imagining you were in front of me, uninterrupted. And the reason why that is distinctly different is that when you are speaking uninterruptedly, I don't know if that's actually a word, by the way, you think differently because your thoughts are not interjected. And that's what I've realized doing this. And I've also realized I don't like a schedule. That's another thing I've realized. Another thing I've realized is I won't be keeping a schedule anymore. I've just decided that right now. And that felt very empowering because you know what? That's, I think, what's making me not enjoy and makes me feel like I'm in a box again. I have this allergy to system boxes because I cannot live outside of the system. The things that I can live outside of, I'm trying to change. And believe you me, one of the most challenging things in my life is trying to change things that the system is imposing on me because it is so difficult to live outside of those things. And when you don't think about it, you don't think twice about it, you're in it. Most people, 90% of the people around me are in it without thinking about it. And they would think that they're free. And 90% of those 90% would think they're free. I would say maybe 10% of those people would say, there's something going on and I don't know how free I am. I do think that there's something going on. I just don't care to know because it's probably dark. And I've literally, that's not a quote direct, but it is definitely how do you say that? I like saying it's there's a way of saying that. It's not a quote, but it's when you refrain it in your own words. And I like that word or saying, whatever it is. It's right now the file's missing. I mean, it's just been misfiled. But anyway. And the thing is when people say I digress, when I digress and when I say digress, I just want to be specific in my speech to you. Moving forward, I think it's important that we actually identify definitions. And this came from that lady. She's kind of, I'm not sure how I feel about her yet. And I think it's because she's maybe I have similar traits and maybe that's why it annoys me. But she said once that, and I lost the trait, what she said, that her and her husband actually define words so that they could each understand where they're coming from. And that actually makes perfect sense because a lot of us, first of all, we're losing language. We are losing vocabulary. A lot of us are dumbing down our sentence structure. A lot of people will say to me, I I am trying to enrich my vocabulary. However that may look to someone, if someone thinks that I'm being snobbish, I apologize. But this is me practicing enrichment of my vocabulary. This is my second language. I am practicing to enrich it and to sharpen it. The next step is practicing my first language, which is atrocious, because when you live most of your life in your second language actually, I think I've discussed this in another language, becomes your first language, but it's actually not. For us to become lazy in our language, I think that might be like the end. Because once we become lazy, we start understanding each other, less, and ourselves less. Does that make sense? I want you to think on that point a little bit deeper. If there's anything about our chat today, I think that would be the most crucial, is think about that. Just think about that deeply. If we lose our language, we're getting closer to our monkey friends than coming away from the monkeys, as Darwin would want us to believe. So my friends, if you are coming to this small, very quaint couture boutique of thinking, then I want you to take the time just to think that one thought through. If you start shortening your sentence structure, shortening your words, you are by nature or naturally going to reduce the accuracy of whatever it is you are trying to say. The vibrancy of that visual for the other person is reduced. Does that make sense? Okay, let me give you an example. Let me think of an example, first of all. Okay, so close your eyes for this exercise. Or no, you don't have to close your eyes because you're already thinking, because unless there's a visual, I don't even know how I'm going to do these videos, to be honest with you. I've not thought this through at all. This is just like, I'm throwing this at the wall and I'm going to see what sticks. But this feels good. I like this. I feel good doing this. And maybe I won't feel good doing it editing, but we'll see. Okay, back to the analogy. Two different ones. Imagine I'm sitting in front of the fire and I'm talking to you guys. And now imagine I've poured myself a hot cup of coffee. Before I even pour the milk, the whole kitchen smells like coffee as it brews. I take the coffee, I put it at my side table in my living room where I have a warm, cozy blanket that I think is Herbie's. As I sit down, all the windows are black, but the glow of the fire gently dances across the walls. I pick up the coffee, I press record, and I start talking to my friends out there somewhere. Was there a difference in the two? I would say there was. I would say that the difference in the expanded version is that you were able to think more colorfully. You were able to paint that picture more crisply. You were able to enjoy that thought. The first thought was very to the point, bland, and there was no imagination. If you wanted imagination, you would have to install it yourself. You weren't going on a ride. You would have to make the ride in the first version. In the second version, you're just listening. You're hanging on to see what you need to build next. Would you agree? Maybe you wouldn't. Give me another option to think about. I love other options to think about. And also, back to emotion. When you take emotion out, at least, because emotion is important. Gotta put in another log. Ooh, logistics. Emotion is it's a needed part of our existence. Emotion is what got us here. Emotion is what attaches us to our partners. Emotion is what allows us to survive in a village or clan, cooperate, because you're emotional, you love, you hate. But emotion, it can be hijacked. Emotion, when used in an appropriate or not used, that would be the wrong word. Emotion in the correct circumstance brings humanity forward. Good morning. Well, it is that time. The house is waking up officially. Wrapping up is probably a good idea as well. We were stuck in some thorny bushes there, weren't we? If you've made it this far, I appreciate you. And I know that it might feel lonely sometimes when you're a thinker, whether you're a good thinker or not such a good thinker, because I think we're all on different journeys. We're in different parts of our journey. And so, as we journey on this slow, meandering, thorny path, I want to wish you all a wonderful day, week, month. And I really hope you come back and sit with me for the next chat. And of course, if you haven't liked or subscribed, I would appreciate it. Until then, may your thoughts weave in and out. May you explore your thoughts. May you not be afraid of them. And if you just like listening to thorny thoughts, then you found the right place. Until next time, my friend, take care.